Hi guys, John here, Common Sense Outdoors. What I want to talk to you today about is elderberry shrub. Here in the Pacific Northwest in the higher elevations is pretty easy to find. In fact, probably within a 50-yard radius of me there's probably at least a dozen of these little elderberry shrubs. Now they call it a shrub, and I don't know that would always ring true, because there's spots up here where I found them with a trunk that looks like a tree trunk and it's actually growing bark. So I don't know that it's always considered a shrub. I don't know, old growth elderberry or what, but as far as survival aspects, first off, of course, you have the berries. Now, I don't know how well you can see, these are kind of a light blue. Technically, these aren't ripe yet. And if you taste them, they'll be kind of sour. Unless these are dark purple, almost a black color, they're not considered ripe. And they're actually mildly poisonous to eat them at this color. But at any rate, you'd have to eat a lot of them for it to affect you anyway. So you have the food source aspect being the first one of the elderberry shrub. The next one is if you take a knife to the bark, and you'll see different colors from green to brown on the stalks of these. The greener the better is going to be for what I'm doing here. But if you just take your knife and slide it down the stalk, this makes great cordage. You can get that inner bark to separate off the outer bark. Well, that one doesn't hold together. But at any rate, you can make really good cordage out of this stuff. It's really strong. So you've got the food aspect, the cordage aspect. A couple other aspects. Let me kneel down here for a second. If you were to take, when you find a shrub like this, you'll have usually, like here's a dead piece, you'll have varying stages. Some of it will be real dark dead bark, some of it will be real green. But if you take a piece of one of the stalks, these are really piffy centered. And when I say piffy, the inside of this stalk reminds me of styrofoam. Very similar to styrofoam. So if you take a nice sturdy stick and just shove it through to make a hole. Whoop. This is about 1.5 inch long piece, which now has a hole through it. Instant bobber. Super ultra lightweight, very buoyant. The perfect material for bobber, possibly even better than cork. You're not going to sink it, it's not going to waterlog. Excellent source for a bobber. Another survival aspect could be if you took a 3 to 4 inch long piece, throw it on the ground again, take your same stick, just keep shoving it through until you clean out all the pith. You end up with a hollow tube. This is the makings of a whistle. If you plug one in and make a mouthpiece with a small slit for air, and your V-shaped hole in the top, if you get it just right. I've done it before. I've made a whistle. I didn't finish this one, but I've made a whistle out of this before. But that tube's the perfect start to a whistle. And lastly, this stalk right here, if I was to harvest this whole stalk off of here, is perfect and super easy to make a bird perch snare, which is something we're going to show you in the next video. So just out of one little shrub, we've got an edible source, a cordage source, a bobber source, a whistle source, and a trap source off of one shrub. And like I say, they're very abundant here in the Pacific Northwest. Super easy to find in this area. So depending on where you are and if you have them or not, is something that shouldn't be overlooked for a survival aspect. Alright guys, I hope you like the tips and the ideas. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you for your subscription, support, comments, and likes, and we'll see you in the next video.